and welcome to yet another episode of Growing Out Loud. Growing Out Loud is a space for the dreamers who do and the dreamers who do it differently. First, I'd like to thank you for the support that I have been receiving from you ever since we published started season 2. Thank you even for the feedback that I'm getting. Yes, we are improving as we go. And thank you for being a part of the journey. Please remember to like and subscribe. It's free. Now, before we get into this conversation, this podcast has been made possible by Brand with DK. Brand with DK is a full-scale communications and PR firm where we turn your story and your expertise into a competitive business advantage and into money, essentially. Now, as part of what we do over at Brand with DK is we teach people and we build personal brands. So in the event that you have been looking to build your personal brand and you have been looking to make money out of your personal brand, we have a course available for just that. So it will essentially teach you from the basics of how to get started with your personal brand and how to milk it, literally milk your personal brand and get money out of it. Find a link to that in the description below. Now, over to today's conversation. I am joined by my friend again. I think actually this season has just had my friends showing up for me and having conversations, but it's also a powerful testament to the people around you make you who you are. So today's guest is a good friend of mine, someone that we have, done business with. We have also seen each other in social spaces, seen each other through difficult times and equally amazing times as well. And I will let her introduce herself.
Thank you, Daisy. And hi, the Growing Out Loud community and family. My name is Stephanie Wambua. I am a marketing and branding entrepreneur. So I maintain, I build, I optimize, and I scale business brands and personal brands as well. And I think that's why Daisy is saying we are sort of in the same field. We've done business together because, yes, we are both in the branding, but specifically the personal branding space. And I'm very excited to be here. This is my first podcast, by the way.
Oh, really?
It is.
Bas.
It is. So
the cabbage,
I'm happy.
please.
Nione kando. But yes, I'm excited. And yes, congratulations on your episode. No, this is rather season 2. And I'm happy to be here and I'm excited for the conversation, especially again, it's Women's Month. So
exactly.
That's exciting.
That's why we have you here. But remember, why are you downplaying my podcast episode that I brought you on for personal branding and complicated that you shot in my house on my phone?
I'm actually not downplaying it. By the way, you've been in the game for some good time, for a hot minute.
Though, to be honest, that one, you remember, I think I published about 4 episodes, and then I was like, I don't think I want to talk about personal branding exclusively on a podcast. But lately, I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, in hindsight, I could probably do just 5 minutes, mini-sodes of it. I don't know. Anyway, Karibu, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And, it's fascinating. Every time we meet, every time we're even on webinars together, we're always in sync. Like, we're always somewhat dressed in, like, the same colors.
We didn't plan.
Or, like, the same... We did, I promise.
We have never planned.
Yeah.
We have never.
But it always happens.
Yes.
That we are sort of in sync. But I guess that's a testament to points of intersection and energy aligning, probably.
Yeah.
Now, Stephanie and I last year did our first big project together. So we had a series of master classes, 3 of them, on how to win with your personal brand. So it was essentially like a workshop spread over a period of 3 weeks. That was the first time we did like a big project together. Well, before that, we've done webinars here and there.
You've sent clients.
Oh, we've sent clients the other way. We've talked about figuring out what we are doing.
Yes. How you pricing? This client is asking me this.
Crazy.
Am I downplaying myself?
Yes.
You've told me severally, hey, Steph, for what you're offering, maybe you could do like this, like that. And that's especially been in the case of, I could give more for the value. The value could be more. So there's been a lot of exchanging of notes.
Oh.
Yeah. But you talk about
the
podcast, not the podcast, the masterclass.
Oh, yes. So now, having done that masterclass, we now had to see each other in a different light.
Yes.
From now being friends to having to work together, truly, truly, and seeing a project from start to the end. And I remember by the time we were done, because initially I had told Stephanie, I'd want to bring you on the podcast. I'm just not sure what I want us to talk about. Because at the time, we're like, okay, personal branding, not really. We've really talked about it everywhere. That's not the kind of conversation we want to have. And then we're like, okay, we'll figure something out. By the time we were done with that project, I remember Stephanie told me, I never forgot it. She was like, Daisy, Sasa, we have content. Now we can talk. And it's because, by the time you see a project come to life, a lot has gone behind the scenes. By the time you bring a group of people together and you've structured something to offer the said group of people, and they've actually accepted to come on board, it was chaotic. It was crazy. It was a beautiful experience all at the same time.
Yes.
Tears may have been involved. And that's what we're here
Signs
for.
of quitting.
Signs of
In fact, threats.
of quitting.
Threats of quitting. Like,
Actually, let me just set the scene. I remember there's a time you called me and you asked,
what did I do?
Daisy, are we still doing this? Ama we just let it go? I'm like, hey, wow. Anyway, just to set the scene, let me ask you, Stephanie.
Ask me.
What's the one thing that you got to learn about me that you didn't know of before we did the project? Yes, like did it make you see me in a different light? Are there aspects of myself that you had not interacted with and you're like, Jesus Christ, Kumbe Daisy is like this?
Absolutely. Now, you see, this was like serious work. It was not at a Daisy, you're doing your thing, and yeah, I'll clap for you from the sides. We are doing this together. You need to pull in your weight. I also need to pull in my weight because this is our objective. We want to bring, let's say, did we even have a target? Let's say our target was we want to bring 50 students together for this masterclass.
We had a target.
Did we?
Was it not said 50?
It was actually 50. And then we realized, wow, that might have
was
been ambitious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we realized that might have been quite an ambition. Now, in that regard, now I got to work with you and now experience Daisy as a business partner. So what I quickly learned is that we had very different ways of working.
Very.
Yeah, my background is in corporate. I've always been the corporate buddy. So I'm so used to structures, timelines, deadlines. What are we doing? When? Have you done it? Daisy gets work done, but not that way. Like Daisy is, I could have different formulas of doing it. Of course, now I'm thinking how I'm used to doing it is that's the way it should be done. So I got to see how things can be done differently, and I had to appreciate that. We can get to our target of 50, while Daisy is spontaneously doing this and that. Like there's a day, you remember that same day, I think I called you and I was bashing you, like, Daisy, I've not even seen you post. Why am I the only one posting this thing? What are you doing? She's like, but Steph, I've gotten sponsors I've already secured, sponsors for. So you see, you had a different way of doing it. But me, I'm thinking, we said we are going to post 3 times a week.
Yeah, we were following a set structure, a set way of doing things. Yeah.
So I'm like, why haven't you posted? And then you're like, but the goal is to get 50. So we can get 50 I can get sponsors for 10. Yeah. So I got to appreciate the different ways of getting to the goal.
Yeah.
So I got to see a different way I got to experience how you work. And it may not necessarily be how I work. So I got to appreciate that there's different ways people can pull in their weight. So that's what I saw differently. I was like, oh, so this is how Daisy works. Okay, it doesn't have to be set in stone and you have to follow step A to B to C. Like if you can jump to M, because I used a different way to get to M, good.
Yeah.
We're getting to our Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. And actually, first of all, I appreciate that, yes, in as much as I went about a different way of getting us to where we needed to be. I should have communicated that with you, though. You see, I should have told you, by the way, Stephanie, I know we were supposed to have posted content, nini. I did not post content, but it's because I had shifted my strategy as towards, and I've already had conversations with person A and B, and they're on board. You are owed that communication, and I think that's what makes things seamless. But now with that regard, now no corporate, there's structures like that. On this other end,
Tell me about it.
Things can shift overnight. Like one day you know things are working and the next nothing is working. So with that regard, I am kind of used to just, it feels like we're constantly putting out fires. So now when you're constantly putting out fires, you need to do things that sometimes seem insane or what, and that's what my approach has always been, I guess. And it works. Sometimes it works against you. Like in this case now, you see, it would have butchered a relationship simply because I'm not able to communicate the same thing. But it's our way of being adaptive. It's my way of being adaptive. And then the other thing is, while I only started working with a team like full-time last year. So it means I was also just adjusting to understanding, but I'm not the only decision maker in this. Because you see now, I think this is like the first big project that we worked on together. Usually it's just me as the decision maker. Whatever I say is the last word and things now move. But now you see now in this case, I'm moving like that while forgetting that there's someone else that I need to inform. And let me tell you guys, it caused friction. I don't know if this is a good time to tell them. I remember around that time.
What happened?
Blankets was happening. And then I think that previous week, like you had said, we had said we'll post content, nini. I had not.
Oh, you were busy
kept to my
updating
end
us on how blankets was.
Yes.
So Daisy was not posting about our masterclass.
Yes.
We have not even reached our target of 50 people.
Yes.
We had barely, I don't know, were we even at 10? I can't even remember. In fact, things were looking very shaky, and I feel that's why I was even more alarmed, because I'm like, wait, we have already spent money on this thing, because there's investment that went into
time, energy,
money,
resources.
Resources holistically, like time, money, energy, thoughts, countless meetings. Then Daisy has gone a whole weekend updating us on giving us recap of how blankets and wine was. And she's not been posting. She hasn't communicated anything. So I'm like, oh, when did I become this became a solo project without my awareness. For sure, that is what happened. So of course I was infuriated. I was very angry. I was frustrated. I was almost putting my guard down. I was like, I tried. It possibly didn't work. It didn't work. I could work.
Actually.
Yeah.
On the other end, well, I appreciate that frustration. And maybe this is a conversation that us entrepreneurs and people who just, every day you have to go out and market your business. And they say if KFC still markets their business up until date, and Coca-Cola, and even matatus, everyone, or at least a majority of the population needs matatus. But these people still go out there and tell people, Panda, 30 bob tao. Whomst are we to think that we should not talk about our work? And there's that shame and that akin in a bag. And I can tell you, I feel it even with my podcast, and every time I put out content and I'm like, subscribe, or reminding people. And that's why maybe I've not done a good job of marketing the how to make money with your personal brand course. Because I'm like, it feels like I'm begging people. And at that point, that is exactly what I was like, Aki guy, I've been telling people every day to sign up for this masterclass, and people are not I'm not getting the reception that I want. And I was like, by the way, I can think about it from, okay, Sivo, but even when I feel at that point, right? Msikae, please, just come, please, thank you. But at the time, I was like, okay, maybe let me try and shift strategies. But anyway, with that said, kuliwaka moto, we had to call ourselves to a meeting. And we called each other out on our BS. A lot of that actually landed on me.
Oh, okay.
But with like I said, I acknowledge I should have done a better job of communicating what happened then. And I think it made from then on, we now had points of synergy, and we were now more gelled, and it was easier to move forward, and we had renewed strength. So we actually went ahead and saw through the workshop. We had about 20.
Yeah, we had up to 20.
20 participants.
Yes.
Far from our true north, but for something that was our first try.
But also we noticed other things like, okay, just a heads up to everyone planning like a masterclass or a workshop or a product. Of course, you'll determine your target audience. That's clear. Who are you targeting? Of course, you'll have your marketing strategies in place, your content plan, yes, what you're communicating. But also pricing is also critical because when I notice who my target audience is, also we notice things. We learned a lot from this project, by the way, because at the same time, remember, this was a masterclass that ran through 3 weeks.
Yes.
We were like, why did you have to make it 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
We'd have done 3 consecutive days.
Yes.
So there are very slight nuances actually, because even up to the 20 people you had, some people didn't even attend all the classes. Yet they paid their full amount, but maybe week 1, week 2 could be available. By week 3, something has happened. Like life. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
So even the pricing, like look at all those factors. Maybe just a marketing heads up to anyone who's planning on a project or something.
Yeah.
Look at it holistically, wholesomely. Test, ask your friends, how much would you pay? Even ask yourself, how much would I be willing to pay? Of course, you're going to think about the value you're bringing in. It's not like you're giving freebies. No, I'm not talking about freebies. We're not doing freebies business. Yeah, you're charging the service, you're charging for the product, but you're looking at it holistically. How much, remember, we are saying we spent resources for this project. We took time, went and shot videos. We restructured even our personal content to fit the masterclass.
Yes.
Yeah, now even if you are, I remember there's a project that was coming up for you and you had to...
I cancelled it. Imagine.
Cancel.
I'm not committed to this.
You were not. Do you remember when we took people to Windsor? You didn't even do any follow-up with those people. You brought us, you brought us a partner who gave us an opportunity to go to Windsor. What were we doing? To play golf. Why am I the one who's calling people, finding out where we are meeting? And do you remember that day?
But Sakwani, what does that have to do with... see, we've communicated where they need to be and what time. We were not giving them a place. When we had a van for them, it's just that day we decided, because a lot of us were coming from one region, we should go together. Hey, make sure till date I actually don't see what I did wrong.
No. Okay, you asked me a question in regards to what did I learn about you and your work techniques, how you work, basically. Now, to throw the same question back to you.
Oh, what did I...
Yes, about how does Stephanie work.
Oh.
Yes. Hey. I don't think you've mentioned that, have you?
I have. And
you
not
have.
on the podcast,
not
but I have
podcast.
told you.
Oh, yeah, not
what
now.
I noticed for me was, you're highly structured. And for you, things go systematically. Yeah. It's 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, which I appreciate, because if it is not for that sort of structure, then let me just go back to explaining how I work and how it is different from what I noticed with you. Me, I'm like a visionary and can be spontaneous, and I dream things up. Literally, my tagline is for the dreamers who do. I love to dream, and then I set the foundation, and then now the rest becomes, okay, you and will figure it out as we go. My mind now goes to dreaming the next big thing and setting up the foundation. But now they follow through without structures. That is where things disintegrate. You see, for example, and I've mentioned this before. Last year, I had a personal branding blueprint. I was so excited about bringing the blueprint to life. Did everything. It's a really good. It has value to offer you. It's like a journal sort of, but now in this case helps you build out your personal brand and help you understand, everything about how to move from one step to the next. But now, after I did the blueprint, I disappeared. Because I'm like, okay, fine, now the selling bit. You see now where the structures, where we need the structures.
Okay, I see.
Now for you, you excel in that, because with structures, it ensures that things move, regardless of what happens along the way. Because at the end of the day, things will always come up.
For sure.
But still
That's
things
true.
need to get done, you see. So if we had said we'd put out content like this, you kept your end of the bargain at least 80% of the time and did that, you see. So that is what I appreciated about working with you.
Okay.
The thing that now I had to be like, is I felt like you can be too rigid in our ways, and maybe sometimes fail to see where the other person's POV. Because for you, at the end of the day, this is what we said we will do, So that's what I noticed.
Okay.
That's what I was like, yeah, actually working with even it has actually changed even moving forward, how we do, how we communicate. With you, I'm very intentional, and I'm sure, when we say this is what you're going to do, even if it does not happen, I need to do a good job of explaining and showing reasons
Am
why.
I really that hard? No.
Yes, okay. To be fair, yes.
Okay.
Me, that's what I think.
Really?
That's
Okay.
what I think. But now, pivoting from that conversation now, like we said in the beginning, we are equally ambitious, I would say. We are
No
in
doubt.
the same field.
Why are you doubting?
Okay, fine.
Yes.
You're equally ambitious.
Yes.
We're in the same field. We both do personal branding.
Yes.
We both do it on LinkedIn. Our strong suits are both LinkedIn.
That's where we met.
We actually met on LinkedIn. Yeah. So with that said, we are friends, but you would also argue that we are competitors in the field. So the question is, how does it for you, or maybe I could, for you, seeing Daisy win publicly,
Okay.
or even privately, because we're friends and we know what's happening uko nyuma in the back banners, how does seeing me win make you feel
Okay.
genuinely?
If I'm being honest, and as just human beings, I feel like it would be a lie to say you feel nothing. You are unmoved. You are unshaken. You are unbothered. And that's why I've actually mentioned, I'll start asking myself questions like, Kwani, what is Daisy doing that I'm not doing?
Exactly.
Kwani, is it her post? And simple things like, maybe does she have strong CTAs even when she's posting? Is she more clear? Like, I'd just like to know, like, Kwani, what is happening? Is it my positioning? Is it clarity? Is it that I'm not consistent? I'm not even telling people what I do. See, we say you close mouths, don't get fed.
Yeah.
So I don't expect people to just all of a sudden think I am a good communicator and I can talk to students if I have not expressed that is what I do, or if I don't have referrals or networks to now refer me. These things have to go concurrently. So, of course, I'll ask myself, and of course, I found myself asking, what could she be doing that I'm not currently doing? And then I check on myself. And sometimes I just go to the length of asking, how did you get this opportunity? Like, just ask. After you've
introspected.
Yes, after self-introspection, which is necessary for sure. I don't even think it's anything wrong. And I feel like sometimes that is what we get wrong when we talk about sort of comparison. And what we want to call comparison is that we feel like if I check against someone else, it's wrong. Like it's something wrong. It is not.
It's not wrong.
Like I can check against someone else and say, like yesterday, truthfully, there's someone who's good on LinkedIn. And honestly, I just went on chat. I put their LinkedIn profile. Then I was like, chat, what is making this person so good on their profile? Like, is it that they have a clear headline? Like, I literally just checked against chat and I'm like, I'd just like to know, because from my POV, I can tell their profile is such a lead magnet. So I don't think self-introspection is bad. Of course, I get to ask myself, what could Daisy be doing differently that I could do? And I just end up asking, how did you get the opportunity? What do you think I'm not getting right? But also, again, remember seasons and times. Like, just because maybe it's you, again, we're in different seasons. Maybe you've really focused that this time maybe you want to do certain things or you want to train more right now. Maybe my focus is one-on-ones. Again, now you need to also check on yourself on what are your personal goals. Because I can't start coming to you as the benchmark of what my goals should be. Because maybe I've decided maybe my capacity is too full. So, and I think that's where comparison can come in. When now you are not clear about your personal goals, and now the other people in your industry become the marker of what should be happening in your life.
And just allow me to add on to that. You're right. You see, maybe I could be trying to do, and like we sat down actually one day and did an evaluation, and we noticed a lot of people in our industry go the trainings and workshops and that route, as opposed to someone like me who does a lot of one-on-ones and brand management for clients. And now you see, these are different markers, and my vision and their vision is so different. Them, they're trying to get to New York. You are trying to get to South Africa. Sasa, why are you boarding a plane going to New York and you should be boarding one that goes to Joburg, Yes. But for me, if you're to ask me how I feel when you are winning publicly.
Okay.
First of all, yes, of course, to deny that you don't be like, hey, first of all, yes, Stephanie is doing amazing, Jesus Christ, this girl, she's been, soaring high. And then, of course, the next thing is, Daisy, why are you not soaring high? And sometimes you even find she's soaring high, but you're soaring high as well. It's just that your versions of soaring high are different.
Yes.
And a lot of things are probably even happening that we can't yet talk about because they're still cooking. And that's still a version of soaring high. So you're here trying to make yourself feel bad, and you're like, Kai, Mimi, Kwani, what am I doing wrong? Because for me, it usually now, I'm like, Daisy, you see now, other people are working hard, and you, what did you do today?
So you feel like there's something you're doing wrong?
Yes. Now that is
so
what
it's something you're doing wrong
to me. Now me, I'm like, yes,
because
it's something
someone
I'm not
else
doing.
is winning in their own way. There's something you're doing wrong.
Yes.
How are those things even related?
And that's why you talk about how you talk to yourself really matters.
Yes.
And being your own worst self-critic, that can be detrimental. But with that regard, for me, it would be unfair to say you don't feel any form of jealousy. And I think jealousy is, for me, or at least my definition is, to a certain extent, you want what they have. But now there's a difference between that and resentment.
Okay.
Now that's where the problem comes in. Because now I can be shameless. Or at least if we are friends and we have a good relationship, I'll just come to you and ask, by the way, unatoa wapi our clients, by the way. And I'm sure you've seen me ask you this question so many times. Unatoa wapi hii, ama what's the secret to writing a good copy? Or writing, for me now I really like how you write your articles.
Oh, you say that? Thank you.
I'm like,
Thank you,
you do a good job with your articles,
Thank
you. So the thing about it is, instead of it being getting resentment, you just go and have that open conversation with them. And even when you're having a difficult moment agreeing on how you're working and all that, also, again, just open communication. Because sometimes you find that, or at least if they're genuine people, it's not out of ill intent. Everyone's just trying to figure out their life.
For sure.
Mambo tu
That
ni
is
mob.
true.
So sometimes you just need to have that conversation with them, and you'll realize, oh yeah, even them, they've been consumed in their world, they forgot, or they, I don't know. Yeah, just have conversations, essentially, is what I would say.
I think, yeah, that's the bottom line for sure. Because really, and as you've put it, if it's a genuine relationship, a conversation should not be something that you can't do. Because that's the only way out. Because really, if at all you admire what I am doing, what's so hard about you asking me, yet you have access to me already?
And that makes it even, like, I have access to the people that you know. I have access to the resources that you have within you. I have access to everything about it. Like, when we come together, it makes things so much, it makes things easier, and it makes it easier to move fast. And actually, I can really notice that's a shortcut to just winning it and making it in life.
Okay.
Just do it with someone else. Because again, when you think about, say, the workshop, we both could have handled it individually very well, to perfection, probably. But I don't think we would have gotten to that degree of impact that we did.
Yes.
It's because we used our collective efforts. Yours and mine come together, it forms something magical. And I love to use this principle when I'm explaining collaborations and just the idea of strategic partnerships. Because for me, it's a big thing, and it's what has gotten me to where I am. The problem is thinking there's 6 pieces, there's a cake, and it has been cut into 6 pieces. Now you think, if Stephanie takes 1 piece, only 5 pieces are left. That's the problem. So now I'm like, guys, Stephanie ashachukua her 1 slice. Now there's only 5 slices left. And then tomorrow you come see her with another big win. And now you're like, geez, now it's 4. The world is coming to an end. Stephanie is taking everything away from me. Everything that I've worked for, this girl is here to take it all away. Yet, truly, there is enough for... Actually, when you think about it, we may have probably passed each other clients, or at least have had those
You have.
conversations.
You have.
But you work with people that are distinctly different from the people that want to work with me. Another thing that I like to say over and over is, again, the beauty of personal branding is the people who will want to work with me because of my spontaneous nature, and because there's madness in the chaos, and there's someone who will look at me, and that is what will make them say, oh my goodness, no way in hell I'm working with this lady. You know. And there are people who'd want to work, like there are people who like me for me, and there are people who won't like me for me.
Yeah.
And the same, and
Yes.
you know, and the
Yeah.
same applies to you as well. So there are people who want to work with Stephanie because they like Stephanie and they don't like Daisy, and it's nothing personal.
Nothing.
They
For
just
sure.
maybe connected with you more, or they connected with me more, and that's just about it, you know. But just to expand the conversation aside from us,
Yes.
what has been your experience partnering and collaborating specifically with women? Because there's this notion that women are their own worst enemies. And, you know, in true spirit of International Women's Month, we are sat here and I want this episode to go up in March, simply because, we want to talk about women and us coming together and the magic that we can create out of it. But there's also just nuances. There are just things.
Yes.
It can just be political sometimes. So what has your experience been?
To be very honest, do you know most of the people I have worked with, even my clients, have been women.
Same.
Like
90%.
90%. Yes.
90% of my clientele is women.
I am not even kidding. But this is
Yeah.
when you told me about this conversation, I was looking at my portfolio of clients and I'm like, even past, present, I'm like, what? It's been women. And it's been the same women who has referred me to now someone else. Okay, it doesn't have to be a woman they referred me to, but the chain has been women. So first, I've proudly benefited from partnerships and relationships with women, being part of communities led by women, my name being mentioned by women, being invited into spaces that are full of women. And I have seen the beauty of that. First, it becomes easy. You relate, you connect faster. Like, you get me. Like, you get my issues, my problems, my wins, my possible challenges as a woman. You've shortened the distance for me. And also, fortunately, most of the people I have ended up working with are older than me. So they end up being like mentors, even if they're my clients.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Actually, just to add on to that, I have met a lot of women who say, Daisy, actually, because for context, you see, I barely had any experience while getting into the personal branding space. Maybe I was just learning as I go and just telling my class, this is all I know for now, but we're working towards knowing more. And they'd be like, okay, fine. And I'm giving you that opportunity because, yes, you have an understanding of what you're trying to do in as much as you're still figuring it out. This was back then. Now I know my stuff. But they would say, I'm giving you this opportunity because I see myself in you. And they'd also say, I'm giving you this opportunity because you have a teachable spirit and the right attitude. So that's what comes from these older women who are like, and beyond just giving you the opportunity, they literally go and shout your name to other people, and they're like, you need to speak to Daisy. And it has been magical on that front.
Yes.
But yes.
I like that. In fact, I like what you've brought out. That's what they most say. They just want a teachable spirit and the right attitude. That's it. So the notion of you can't talk with women, and maybe check on your attitude, maybe check on how teachable you also are, because I think it's easier when also you show the appreciation that you are open to learning, and also your attitude is right. So for sure, that one I agree. On the flip side, I've also encountered instances where I felt like I'm being shoved down by fellow women. Yeah, quite unfortunately. And I may not, unfortunately, again, I've not had the conversation to understand, why do you feel like I deserve, not like really deserve less opportunities, like, why are you making things difficult for me?
Yeah.
That's what it has felt. Because now I have experienced what working with other women looks like and how there's so much ease. It's just a matter of communication, having a teachable spirit, also being clear about what you can do, where you're at. You see what you've said. You just come
and
clean
what
and
your
say,
gaps are.
yes, this is where I'm at, and this is what I can do for you at this point. That's teachability. On the other hand, now, it's that I haven't experienced why I've had experiences that have been difficult with fellow women as well, if I'm being honest, because I felt like I'm sort of being fought. It's like, slow down, relax. Like,
Why do you think that is the case? Is it that, and I know this happens a lot in the corporate scene, is it because you're sort of fighting for the same positions?
I doubt it.
Okay.
Most of these people, again, they are older. They are older and older of not like at your years, 2 years older than me. We could be in the same, I don't know.
Tax bracket.
Yes. Or we could be fighting for a similar position or eyeing for a similar promotion. Older in the sense that, hey, you have 10 years experience. I'm trying to clock my fifth. So I don't have the level of experience you have. I possibly don't have the level of expertise you have. Positions that are likely to go your way are not necessarily the ones that will come to me.
Yeah.
But I've gone for an interview. I don't know, I was so ambitious. I went for an interview and I was told, no, this one, like, yeah, you're good, but this one requires someone with like 5 more plus. You see, there are roles that for sure, and yes, I know we are told to go for it. Yeah, I went for it, guys.
Yeah, you went for it, actually.
I went for it.
Keep going for them, though.
I did. I went for it. I was on stage 2 of the interview. Like, I was almost getting there. But it's just this manager just truthfully told me, Bede, you are great. He told me everything good about me. But the only thing was, it required a higher level of responsibility that just needed like someone with more experience. That's it.
Who's handled it.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
situations.
it.
Okay.
So that's the thing. You see now, that would require someone with maybe 10 years. Me, I'm here with my 5 years, and there are roles for me. There are clients who want to work for me for sure with my 5 years experience in the market. So it's not an issue of, no, maybe sometimes I tend to think it's an issue of maybe seeming like you are too visible. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually need to have that conversation.
Seeming like, maybe I tend, and now, again, that's why I'm saying, it's because I haven't had the conversation with them to find out, like, what was the issue? Like, why do I feel like we have some tunaguarana to some extent? I'd like to assume, and just conversations with now other parties trying to figure out, okay, why is it like this? Why is it just me? Because I can see other people and they're okay. Yes. So,
and it goes back to, and allow me to just pivot kidogo to this conversation. I was talking to a friend over the weekend, and she was telling me about some people that they know about and their experience. You see how, and like I said, we are pivoting kidogo too. They come and say, you 18-year-old girl is a husband snatcher.
Allah, okay.
So you find, or at least in this conversation, in this context, there was an 18-year-old girl, and then there was a lady in her 40s at the time. And then the husband of the lady took an interest on this girl, on this 18-year-old girl. When you think about it, an 18-year-old girl is just someone who's done with school.
Yes.
Then now your husband takes an interest, and then you, as the woman, instead of questioning the husband, you are coming to call an 18-year-old girl a husband snatcher. Like, make that make sense. Like, I look at it and it just does not make sense. In the same way, just to kitogo to give context, how they say, "Ati she stole my man."
Yeah.
Why do we blame the woman as if that man was just sat there like this?
Yeah, they didn't decide.
With nothing, like them, they are a tool. They're an object that can just be taken away like this and returned as if they don't make any decisions themselves. You know, we come and look at it from these situations, and I'm like, this is why they say we are up against each other. Because when you think about it, when someone steals your man, for example, just for context, for purposes of conversation, so you go and approach your man because you were in agreement, you were in a partnership with the man, not the lady, not the outsider. And in this other case, the 40-year-old, like, the husband is also probably in the 40s or older.
Yeah.
This girl has just finished school. So why are we coming to call the girl the husband snatcher? Make that, like, I look at these instances and I'm like,
This is why they...
Yeah, and is it because...
some of the instances.
And like you've said, you notice that it comes with older women and younger women.
Yes.
It's funny because like both sides of the coin are true. Like the women that have also held our hand
Yes.
are older women.
Yes.
And the women
Yes.
that have made our lives hell are older women as well.
Yes. So that means, honestly, me straight me, you'll find your people.
Yeah, you'll find your people.
You'll genuinely find your
Okay.
people, but also the experience of going through the hard knocks. They'll open your eyes to see and to know better and to know faster, because now you know a situation that accepts you as you are, that wants to mold you, and there's value for value. Of course, you're not here to just going, oh, mentor me. You're also giving value.
Have something to offer them.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now, on the other side again, even with the same things that you can offer, why are they trying to make your life a bit hard? So, yeah, there's a place where you belong. There's a place that
They're your
accepts you.
people.
Yes.
But I think we have a responsibility as women as well. You see these women who went before ahead of us and held our hands. We have a responsibility to do the same for people within our spheres of influence and the people who are coming up
Yes.
after us.
Absolutely.
We have the same responsibility to hold their hands equally and to show them the way and to tell them, even when they say, maybe actually the reason why they act like that is because they also, could it also be they see versions of themselves in you?
I've
And
had that.
it gives them, it makes them spiteful because maybe they didn't go for what it is that they wanted to, and they can see you going for it. Maybe, I don't know.
I've actually had that as well. Yes, I have had that as well. And honestly, I'm just curious to know if this is something that's common, especially with what you're saying, the age, also the age difference.
There's an age thing.
Because you would ask, Daisy, hata si heri to fight na wewe, as we are trying to figure
We're on
life
the
at
same
the
level.
same level.
We can.
Sir,
We
my
can fight.
my mother's age, why would I be fighting with someone who's like my mom now? Like, my mom should be mentoring me, guiding me, telling me, Steph, don't step there, just step this side. I know what I'm telling you.
I know, I've been there.
But Daisy, how has been your experience with this? You've mentioned you've worked with women
A lot.
a lot. You've mentioned they've mentored you, they've given you space to grow.
Yeah.
Have you had any experience with women who give you maybe I don't want to say give you a hard
Try
time.
to put you down.
Yeah. Do you have another version that may not be the most positive? And how have you navigated that?
Fortunately for me, I guess also, huko kwa entrepreneurship, there's a lot. I mean, the pool is so wide, So at by the time you would realize there's kidogo friction here,
You've
to
left.
song on other things. Honestly. Also, we are not gunning for the same things like in corporate. And with that regard, I have fortunately with the women that I've experienced had really positive experiences. And even when we didn't get along, it was not based on, I don't know, ego or I'm trying to get what you have. I haven't experienced any of that. However, I have not had a positive experience with someone we are to get into a strategic partnership with, someone who happens to be around the age bracket, we were to get into a partnership and maybe do this business together, but it did not go well.
Really?
So what happened was we started working together. Initially, I was working under this person, and then they came to figure out I have certain strengths that she could use, and she was like, "Yeah, let's make this a partnership as opposed to you working underneath me because there's so much value that you have to offer."
Yes.
So they noticed I have value to offer, and they offered a partnership thing. But then at the time, they had something happening in their own personal lives.
Okay.
I don't want to say I was in the mix of it, but I was somewhat in the mix without even knowing or understanding. So I remember I was given an ultimatum. If we were to work together, then you would have to stop working with this person. And the reasons that were fronted to me about me stopping to work with them just did not make any sense to me.
Okay.
I had not, it's business. Like at the end of the day, this was a business environment. We were all just doing business together. So, and they had not done anything to disrespect me, to double cross me, to stop me from doing what I was doing or trying to dim my light. And then on this other front, someone presents a proposal and they're like, on condition, you have to stop and kill these relationships. And the truth is, at least in our industry, and I presume everywhere else, relationships are what matters. Your social capital will come through for you. in ways you'd never think about. So I did not want to butcher the relationship, and I tried to mediate this and say, hey, me, Aki, I understand I'm fully on board on this front. We'd get together. I just don't understand why we have this limitation. And at the end of the day, we just couldn't get along because at the end of the day, again, shared values.
Yeah.
We just did not have similar value systems. And it was a bit ugly at the time. And again, it was business, so it affected my business quite a bit. But I picked myself up and learned from the situation and just moved on.
Okay.
So that has been my experience. That has been the only negative experience with regard to partnering or partnerships with women that I've had. And you see, that's just, you could argue one isolated incident. One incident too.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So now, as we are wrapping up, just moving forward.
Okay.
Or looking ahead, what is it that you're looking to do, and how do you think women can help you get you to the next stage?
Specifically with women.
Yes.
With women.
Women.
Okay. So currently, what I'm doing, again, I mentioned I'm a marketer. I have a group of mentees. They're not many, but it's very exciting to actually, like, now there's a lot also of fulfillment that comes with just guiding you so that you get things done. Because you see, these relationships sometimes, to be very honest, they go beyond just, oh, I'm mentoring you. There's value for value. Now, remember, these are like mentees who have experience in the digital marketing space, but they haven't had the practical experience for an extensive time. They're getting there. So I have the pleasure and the honor, actually, of just mentoring them, guiding them. And at the end of the day, I get their assistance because we end up working together. So honestly, I'd like to hold more hands. It's deeply fulfilling to share shared growth. Shared growth is sweet, I must admit. Like, growth is sweet. Growth is sweet. And I feel like, honestly, it ends up being easier when we are holding each other's hand. Of course, we've talked about the nuances that can come in there, and I think the remedy for that is open communication. And honestly...
And honesty.
And honesty. Yes, also and honesty.
Yeah.
But also, again, if you guys communicate and it doesn't work, there's also seasons. There are places to just amicably go your own ways. Because don't hold on into relationships that are not working for the sake of trying to make things work that are not working. If you've sat together and you've seen, maybe this is where our values are not aligning, or this is the problem that I am unwilling to compromise on. Let's move.
It's okay to part ways, and it can always be amicable, an amicable way of parting ways. You don't have to collaborate and partner with everyone you come across.
Yes, also that.
And
now when you're getting into that, now into the relationships, into the working relationships rather, into the partnerships as well, into the collaborations, even just project-based, I think, actually, and this is something we may have skipped and then we figured later, we need to have written down clearly. Like, make it, sort of officiate it, even if you're working as friends. Because now remember, if you're working towards a shared objective and a shared goal, where there are expectations, there are KPIs, there are results we're expecting, let it be clear. We know what should be happening. And we possibly even have a third party when we come at loggerheads. Yeah, so I think we can mitigate these things by, take it to the seriousness it deserves, especially when it comes to business.
Yes.
So what I'm looking for to, I've said it, holding more hands, to be very honest, because I am a full beneficiary of being mentored, my hand being held by other people, and now, especially in this case, women. As we've mentioned, women who've gone ahead of me, and it's been a most rewarding experience for me. It has multiplied in many ways. So doing that to someone else would just be the best thing I can do at this point.
Okay, lovely. I think for me, I would say, number one, it's also important to communicate your own boundaries when getting into partnerships and respecting the other person's boundaries.
Okay.
Simply because we are friends does not mean now that I can keep lowering the guard or, bypassing the things that we'd said we'd do. If you don't have boundaries, you don't have any respect for yourself and for the other person. So think about, communicate your boundaries clearly and respect the other person's boundaries. And even in the event that you're at loggerheads, because it's likely to happen. We are different individuals. We all see things differently.
Yeah.
It all goes back to, how does this person like to work, and how can I ensure that I am, trying to keep within
Yes.
that sort of structure that you've set for yourselves. And again, communicating that. And beyond that, if there is now a Daisy and Stephanie that are coming up, they're probably 19, 20, or just two girls who are trying to come together and build something, and they don't want to butcher their relationship, and they want to grow, and they want to see each other win. So two young, ambitious women, what would you tell them to focus on?
First, I need that small Daisy and Steph to figure themselves out first before just jumping into, let's partner, let's collaborate. I know it sounds exciting. It sounds like, oh my God, two are better than one. Yes, two are better than one for sure. However, I need you to figure yourself out first. And why this will be important, it's because now, when I see Daisy soaring high, and I know I'm in my season of other things, it won't be a jealousy and a resentment point for me. I know what I am after. I know what I'm going for, because I know what Steph is all about and what her goals are. Secondly, I'd want this smaller Steph to also communicate better. I feel like we've said communicate, but it's really because communication is where now things break. Because now I am mad because Daisy has not, done what, but have not told her. And even at first, we had not even agreed. So if you really want that relationship to work, you need to work on your communication skills. If you're already not good at that, then maybe a partnership may not be the thing that will save the day. You'll still go and get more chaos, you get more resentment. Now you butcher a friendship. Now you butcher a business relationship. Then you'd have just done these things by yourself. Then also, critically look at the values both of you bring. You also don't want to be the one who's here carrying the weight, and then you go again home. You are mad, you're angry because you didn't decide, Steph, this is what you're bringing to the table. Daisy, this is what you're bringing to the table as well. That would do. I think when you start with that, you're well on your way. Because again, I know you are ambitious, you're great at what you do. So you also should attract in this case. Yeah.
Okay. How about a drops mic? I have nothing else to add to that. All I would say is thank you for taking the time.
Thank you
to
for
come
having
on
me.
set and to have this conversation. And indeed, we had content now because we've been through the fire. and not to say it in now things are all bright and sunny and beautiful, because even up until now we're still trying to figure each other out. We're still trying to work on the relationship. A relationship is something that you keep working on over time. Actually, I was telling someone recently, even with partnerships, it's not like actually you get a boyfriend or you get a girlfriend or you get a wife or husband, whatever the situation, and now you put them aside and you tick a box. Relationships are not ticking a box thing. Now I have a friend that you can do business with together. Tick. Or now I have a partner. Let me focus on other things. No, you need to nurture that relationship. Things will come. Just recently, we were trying to figure each other out again. There's a lot of having difficult conversations if you are intentional with each other. There's a lot of saying things as they are and not trying to cover them up, because eventually it'll blow too. So you might as well face these things head on. And I think that is the key to a successful collaboration and a relationship, and especially with someone who's as ambitious as you are, or even more than. Because remember, at the end of the day, you are all trying to get to a certain level and a certain place. And you both have that drive and you both want to succeed. So figuring out how there's creating that room for both of you to coexist takes time and intentionality, but it can be done.
I like that.
Yeah. So with that said, thank you for staying up until the end. Please tell us, one, your positive experiences with women and men also, what it has been like working with them. And number two, the horror stories as well, and what you learned from these situations, just so that we can all learn. And I would love to see you on the next one. Please remember to like and subscribe and follow us across all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and on LinkedIn at Growing Out Loud. And I will see you on the next episode. Bye.